and then I'm gonna try these out too. So the Skin Enhancer Bronzer and Toasted Butterscotch, and then this Please Please Pink Blush. So these are supposed to have hyaluronic acid in them, and that's actually why I was interested in trying them out, because they have some little skincare hints in there. So I'm just gonna take this, kind of just go in and shape a little and add some warmth back in. And I just want to add some warmth back in because we're starting to get into like spring and kind of like summertime and stuff. I don't know, feeling like we should warm up a little bit. So yeah, and this is in a very like ashy shade. It's got like almost a gray tone to it, which I like because I don't like too much warmth. I tend to like to stay away from too much warmth because I already have so much warmth, I feel like. And then I'm gonna go in. And I tend to use my hand to kind of protect the hairline where I'm super platinum. But I guess this is more, yeah, this is more of like a full face, full glam type of thing, but a little bit lighter on the foundation. But still with the other aspects of a full glam, like with the contour and the blush and stuff like that. So, but I don't want to go too heavy. I've been a little heavy-handed lately with my makeup, so I don't want to go too heavy. I just kind of want to have, you know, and I do want to add a little bit of warmth into like the chest area, over here, over there. I want everything to kind of match. And so because I do not tan, I don't spend a lot of time in the sun, having like a little contour stick definitely does help to kind of add a little, you know, something something. So all right, and so the next aspect here, I'm gonna go in, and I think I'm gonna stick with the skin, and I'm gonna go in with the Covergirl TruBlend Skin Enhancer. I wanted to kind of make this video about trying these out. I wanted to kind of stay in a drugstore theme as much as I could. So this one's in Bubblegum Pop. And then I'm just gonna kind of go right in there, make a couple dots right here, little on the chin here. And since this is kind of like a pin-up girl look, I can go heavy on the blush. I can go a little heavier on the makeup because pin-up girls, they have quite a bit of blush, but still have kind of a natural look about it. So yeah. This is actually my first time trying this blush balm. I really like the bronzer contour balm because it's very cool toned, and this blush is also really cool toned. This blush balm is very cool toned as well. So I kind of like that if you're somebody that's searching for cooler tones. Probably this doesn't have enough pigment for me, just based on first impression. I like very pigmented blush. Like I like to be able to put it on and be like, that's too much, because by the time I get done with my makeup, it's already faded off, even if I do layer. So, and I do want to punch this a little bit underneath my eye, because that's kind of going for it. I want to punch this like almost under the eye and bring it up. So it's okay. I like it. I think it serves its use. Would I use this on a daily basis? No. It's okay. I definitely am a bigger fan of the contour or bronzer stick. Contour balm is definitely a lot better. But the blush, you know, it's alright. I'm gonna have to go in with something else just because I don't think I'm a huge fan of that. I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Cloud Crush in the Whipped Cheek color and Super Cloudy. Here, a little on my nose. Take it in there. I mean, it makes sense also to layer 2 different shades, or 2 similar shades, but it makes sense to layer 2 different blushes for this look because I'm going for, you know, pinup look, a little bit more blush oriented, so to say. So I'm gonna punch this in and I'm gonna get underneath that eye, and see, that kind of provides me more pigment and a little bit more of what I'm looking for, because once I powder my skin down, it's going to take away from the blush. So, and I also have blush blindness, so I'm sure somebody will probably say something about that, and I really don't care. It's what I like. So yeah, just gonna like kind of almost punch it underneath the eye a little bit. Bring it up high on the cheekbone, kind of get it around, a little on the forehead. All right, now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna powder. One of my favorite powders that is drugstore is the Wet n Wild Soft Pink Loose Setting Powder. And I have one that does not have the powder puff inside of it. So let me get the one with the powder puff. If I can find where that one is. For this look, I want to keep it soft, pink, pretty. This is perfect for me to use, so I'm gonna go in under the eye right there. I'm not gonna be afraid to use powder in this look because a pinup look is very heavily powdered. I do kind of wish I would have went in with a little bit of a like wet highlighter or a liquid highlighter, but underneath this, but it's okay. And then right where I had that little breakout, I'm gonna pop some extra powder on top of it. As long as the skin's well hydrated, that'll kind of do a nice little concealing. Extra work of a concealer. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit too, so everything's kind of like cohesive, so to say. Okay. And it is super hot outside today, so I want to make sure I powder enough if I'm gonna go walk around outside. And I'm gonna powder the lid really well. Make sure I'm not gonna crease or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a minute or two and move on to something else. So I'm actually gonna move on and do, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a little bit of eye makeup. So I've kind of been doing the same eye makeup over and over again lately because I've really fallen in love with the Stila liquid play. This one's in Peekaboo, yeah, Peekaboo Matte. And it's just really pretty. I like it. And this is kind of like a 60s vibe, you know. Kind of could go for a little bit of a pinup look. Could serve that use. So I already have lashes on, so I'm just gonna be careful not to like smear this all over like my lashes. But I basically just go ahead and I put this all over the lid. I don't bring it up too high, but I just get it on the lid. And this is very pigmented and the product goes a very long way, so you don't need to like dip it in and take a chunk out. Like usually whatever's on the brush that comes with it is good enough, and the applicator that comes with it is decent. So, and I just go ahead and I just get that all over. It's the lash line too, and then I'm just gonna let that dry down. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I just like want to let it like just like dry down, and then I'll put another layer if I do need it or desire to have another layer of that. And I'm just gonna kind of pat it in. Just pat it in. And I'm kind of just patting it down, patting it in. Perfect. Because I already see I'm starting to get makeup all up in my hair. So, which is something that happens quite often with me. So I'm just going to throw my hair up just because when I do this next step, I don't want this crap blush getting too much into my hair. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a like sharp edge eyebrow eyeliner angled brush, and I'm going to take a charcoal color from this random ass palette from like Burlington that was gifted to me, and I actually love this palette. It has a lot of good colors in there, and so I'm going to take that kind of like charcoal black type of color, and then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to line the underneath. I do this every day no matter what type of like makeup look I do. I always like to do a dark line on the bottom because I feel like that kind of accentuates my eyes. My eyes are kind of a smaller shape anyway, so I feel like when I close them off a little bit more and just accentuate the natural shape rather than trying to make them larger than what they are, I feel like that's kind of more suiting for me personally. It's just what I like. Yes, and so I'm just gonna go in and do that. And if I wasn't on camera, I'd be doing this a lot faster, so definitely I don't think this is too complicated. Then I'm gonna go in while the powder is actually still on. I'm gonna draw some little like moles. I'm actually just going over moles that I already have and like accentuating them because they disappeared a little bit. So yeah, I like to kind of accentuate some of these moles a little bit. I feel like usually pinup girls have a little bit of like a mole situation happening. I feel like all the baddies have a little bit of mole action occurring, so we're bringing those out. I'm kind of looking for like other spots where like maybe I have or I can kind of draw one on. So yeah, I kind of just accentuate that. And then for the eyes, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Fenty Fly Liner, and we're gonna do in the shade Cause I'm Black. And this is a long wear eyeliner. I really like this eyeliner. I bought this recently. Stuff works really well. I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna do a small little feline flick because I feel like the pinup vibe, you have to have like a little bit of some kind of wing. And I also think I just can't survive a day without having some kind of wing. And I'm kind of bringing it upward, but I'm kind of just doing it to my own discretion. I'm not making it perfect or anything like that. And then I'm gonna go underneath here. I'm not gonna line the top part of my eye. I'm only gonna line the bottom just because it's daytime and I don't wanna line the top, the bottom, do an inner corner feline flick. I don't wanna go overboard. Usually that's what I like to do, but I'm kind of trying to keep it in the ramifications of this specific look. That kind of just gives like a pop, makes it sexy. All of that. And then I'm gonna get some of this powder out of my eyebrows. And then I'm gonna fill my eyebrows in a little bit with a blonde eyebrow fill-in from Essence, nothing fancy. And I'm just gonna go in over there. And I'm just gonna fill it in. And I feel like this eyebrow fill-in is a little warm for what I'd prefer, but it does work. And so I just fill my brows in with that, and that just helps me to look a little less ghostly and a little less of a white brow, more of like a blonde brow than white or silver. Because sometimes it almost can age you, the brow, a little bit in certain circumstances. Although I don't really think that, other people you know, I hear her say that, but I don't know. Okay, and then I am thinking if I want to add a little dimension in the lid, and I'm thinking, yes, I think I may want to go in, and let me just kind of make sure this is blended, but I'm thinking I might want to go and add a little bit of something. I think a little bit of brownie. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in with the Sigma. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. This is the Sigma Ivy palette, and I'm gonna go in with 2 of these like very simple brown shades, and not over the top, but I'm just gonna kind of deepen this just a little bit. I'm just gonna add a little shadow right there. Just a little bit, just to kind of add a little shadow. Just a little bit of background, a little bit of shadow, just so it's not just blue. And then I'm gonna blend those 2 together like that. And I'm gonna blend out and just so I can kind of create and so I'm just kind of creating a little bit of, sorry if there is noise, people are very loud where I am sometimes. Yeah, going, blending that, blending that, blending that. Perfect. And I just like how that adds a little bit more of a blend. Okay, people are nuts. A little bit of a blend, a little bit of a background. Blending the blue and the browns together. And then I'm gonna kind of like flick that out. Flick both of those out. I don't want to add any more of the blue liquid play. I feel like that's enough for me. So now I am gonna finish the base and then I'll come back around to lip, because I don't know. I don't always do this in order, but all right, let me just kick the dust up. Girl, I ain't no country girl. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take this and just blend all that powder off. Kind of see what you're working with. Alright, so I want to add a little bit of color back in. So I'm going to go in and use the skin enhancer. So this is the first time I'm ever using this, so this is also a raw reaction to this Covergirl True Blend Skin Enhancer and Baked Luminous Bronzer. It's very pretty. I like the different shades and kind of reflex in there. I'm using the 310 Toasted Butterscotch. I think there was a shade lighter. I actually know that there was, and I went back to Walmart 2-3 different times and they did not have the lightest shade, so I just went for the second lightest shade, and we're gonna hope for the best. So I'm gonna go back in with that same brush, and I'm just gonna swirl it around because the directions say to swirl it around a couple times actually to kind of get the different colors. And I'm just gonna put a little on the forehead, a little here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and I'm just gonna kind of take this all around and kind of see what we're working with. A little on the side of the nose. And I would say my reaction is, I like it. It's super smooth. Like, it goes on really smooth. I don't know if it's this brush because I just washed this brush, or if it's the product, or both, but I feel like it went on really smooth and I like it a lot. I have been using the Makeup Revolution Cool Tone blush. What is it? It's got lashes stuck all over it too. I've been using the Mega Bronzer in One Cool for Makeup Revolution. I really do like that one a lot because it's cool toned, but I think today I'm going for a look that has a little bit more warmth in it, and I'm just going to warm up my chest a little bit too, so everything kind of is a little cohesive. But I don't want to add too much of this. I'm not a heavy bronzer type of person. I kind of prefer my natural paleness than to try to be super blonde with super tan, because that just doesn't look all the way right on me. And I'm gonna go back in and kind of blend it with like a bigger, this Eco Tools brush. Okay, now I'm gonna try the blush. I'm a little nervous to try the blush because I don't like trying new blushes, and I don't like blushes that are not completely cool toned. But I'm gonna give it a go, and if I don't like it, I could put another blush on top of it. This one is Please Please Pink 400, Covergirl True Blend. And here we go. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty. It's got lighter pink and darker pink kind of mixed in with there. So, all right, I'm gonna take a flat top brush actually, and I'm gonna angle it, put it mostly on the top there. And I'm gonna see what this looks like. I'm gonna pack it mostly like right under the eye and the high points of the cheeks. That's really pretty. I actually approve. I'm super picky with my blushes, and I approve. So it's pretty pigmented. I wouldn't say it's highly pigmented because I've had to swipe it like 1, 2, 3 times to get it to show up, but it's good enough. It's good for a drugstore blush. And I also really feel like this stuff makes my skin really soft. Same thing as the bronzer. I feel like it has a very like soft consistency, the formula, and you can definitely tell, I can tell there's hyaluronic acid in there. And I like that it's a skin enhancer. Because who doesn't like a good skin enhancer? So, okay. So I'm gonna kind of take my hair down and just kind of, I've already curled it earlier. This is not a hair tutorial, so by any means. So, but I just want to take my hair down a little bit. So I want to brush those curls out a little bit because I don't want them to be super tight. Okay, perfect. Okay. Next. Lip. What do I want to do for the lip? Let me see. So I'm afraid I have somehow done the same makeup look I've been doing every day lately, but I had not done a full form video of how I've been doing that. So the next time will be something different. It's gonna be more of an artsy look, I feel like. I don't know. I'm thinking about what I want to do with the lip because I kind of want something new, but I kind of want something pink. And I think I'm gonna go with something pink just because I think today's the first day of spring. So shall we go for it? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go in actually with a lip liner first. I'm gonna use Sweet Tooth by NYX. And I'm gonna use a little bit of a darker lip liner. And then I'm gonna go in with a lipstick. And I'm gonna see which lipstick I'm gonna use because I'm not totally sure. I'm kind of freeballing this whole thing, so. All right, I'm gonna go in and line my lip. Alright, so I lined my lip with that, and then I filled in a little bit. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I'm thinking I want to go for like probably like a hot pink. So I'm gonna use, I love this in the matte lipstick. This one's by ColourPop. I'm just gonna go in and put this all over my lip. And usually when I use this one, I also mix with a little bit of the NYX Suede in Clinger. That about describes me. I'm very clingy. I have attachment issues for sure. And I kind of pat that on the center, but I don't put that around the rim because I want the darker, more like purpley, more mauve lip liner on the outside, and then I like these in the center, and that kind of pulls that together. And you can see why I did put a little bit of brown on the outer corners here with the blue to kind of blend it, because with the pink it kind of creates like a variation of color. Like you have color blocking, like you have like the pink, you have the blue, and then the brown, and it kind of flares out, because I wouldn't want it to be just like pink blue on my face. Like I want it pink, blue, then you have a little brown blended out. Kind of want the colors to kind of like flow and not be blocks of color. If I wanted blocks of color, which is fine, then I would just do the pink, the blue, leave it. I probably wouldn't do a lash. I probably would do like a statement look, but I did want this to be like a pinup girl kind of look, and I wanted the colors to be blended and not have differentiations between the colors, if that makes any sense. If there are any makeup artists here, maybe they'll probably, you know, probably understand where I'm coming from. But I kind of still feel like I want to add something with the blush. I'm thinking from this angle, because I'm like really in the sun, it makes it look less. So I'm going to change angles here, and then I'm going to try something. I think I'm going to use the Too Faced. I used this last night and it was really pretty. It's pretty pigmented. I'm going to go in with this brush this time, smaller brush. I'm going to swirl that like twice. And then I'm going to put that up high right here. And I want to punch it like under my eye right there. And then a little on the nose. I go very, very heavy on the blush, so not everybody's gonna like this. If you don't like a lot of blush, don't do this, because you're gonna end up hating it. But, and then sometimes what I do is if I did put too much, because I do have a tendency to go heavy and waste product, I kind of just tap it off a little bit, and then I go back in. You can always blend it out if you do put too much, but I avoid trying to drag it too low. You don't want to go down here. You really don't want to go past this line right here, and then I just bring it up. But kind of like a heavier blush look was like in for a little while, then it comes back out, comes in, it comes out. Everything comes in and comes back out. That's how style and trends kind of go. But I just kind of punch it in until I feel like it's blended enough for me. I like to leave it, unpopular opinion, a little bit unblended, a little bit too much blush, because I know that when I go more and kind of just create a little bit more of a drama effect. And I'm gonna do that. And I really love this Stila Liquid Play shadow color. It matches my tattoo perfectly. It's like one of my favorite colors. So yeah, and I'm just gonna go and do that. And because I'm dramatic, I'm gonna do a little bit of a feline flick in the inner corner. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in the other side. And how I do the feline flick is I get a really sharp fly liner type of eyeliner, and it has to have a really sharp edge. And then I go on an angle like this. I make the point first and then pull back in. So I make the angle, and then pull back in. All right. Perfect. And I'm gonna go back in with like a whatever fluffy brush. I use whatever brushes I feel like because I'm the artist. I don't go based upon what other people say, oh, this brush is for this and this brush is for that. Yes, there are specific brushes for certain things, but I'm an artist, so I'm gonna use what I want to use. So that's kind of my rule. And then I just go in and I blend everything together, including the top of the eye as well. And then, perfect. Okay. And you can kind of see like the pinup look is kind of coming together here. We can see, now we have Chapel in the background there. Some people really love her right now, some people don't like her. I like her music a lot. I think she's losing the fans right now. I think she's going through some stuff mentally. We can do a psychoanalysis on this chapel in a separate video, but this video is not a psychology video. Okay. For those of you wondering, I'm a social work and a psychology minor, so I like to psychoanalyze people, but right now I am not working. I am an artist at the moment. Now I'm gonna take like this type of brush, and I'm gonna do some highlighter. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Rose Lustre. Super fancy. It sounds like it's from France. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to just kind of take it on the edge of the brush there, tap it off, and I'm gonna go on the nose, and I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go on the top of the lip, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna like blend that out, and I'm gonna go here. So, fun fact, I actually used to work at Twin Peaks, the restaurant, and we had to have our makeup done all the time, which I actually liked because I really enjoy being able to do my makeup and have like creative freedom and stuff like that, in which they did allow us to, which was one of the perks of the job. And this would be how I would do my makeup for work typically. I would do, minus the foundation, I wouldn't wear foundation to work just because like of all the grease in the kitchen and stuff, I wouldn't want that to sink in too much. And I also did not wear sunscreen to work because I worked mostly indoors. So, and I worked at night mostly as well. So I would kind of just do like a pinup girl look, and I would curl my hair that way. And then I would do like a very like old-fashioned makeup look, not like a clean girl, new girl makeup look, like 60s old-fashioned. And just because, I don't know, I kind of gravitate towards that look naturally. It's kind of just like what I like, but I would do it with a filled in brow. So, and I'm so sorry there's people talking downstairs, so hopefully you can't hear that later when I go to edit this. But yeah, I put a lot of highlighter because highlighter also fades as well throughout the day. And I can see that I do want to put a little bit more blush just on my nose. A little bit there too, a little bit there. Yeah. Just kind of like punch that. I am a perfectionist, so I could sit here all day and kind of keep tweaking it, but so I know that whatever I feel like might come off during the day and I'm out, I do like to bring with me. So I usually bring like both of my lipsticks with me. Sometimes I'll bring the lip liner and then I'll bring a powder with me, just so that when everything starts to fade, I can kind of like touch it up throughout my day. So, excuse me. Thinking if there's anything else I want to add. But I think that's pretty much it. So this is kind of like my version of like a pinup girl type of look. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara. Let me find a mascara that I am thinking I want to use. I have to edit all this shit out. Okay. So I think I want to use the roller lash. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to use the Benefit roller lash, and I'm going to add a little bit of mascara to the false lashes on the ends, but not a lot. And then I'm going to add a little bit on my bottom lashes. I don't want to put a ton on. I'm not going to go back in and do a second and third layer. I just want a little bit of mascara. Maybe a little bit more on the bottom. Okay. Somebody is talking about a man misbehaving downstairs, and I'm overhearing it. My ears are blown wide open. Because why is it always a man misbehaving? Okay. I don't know. I'm still feeling like I want to do some more shit here. So I'm going to take this cloudy shit, and I'm going to do a little bit there. And that's kind of fun. And then lip gloss. I'm gonna do a little lip gloss. I'm going to do the Fenty Gloss Bomb Stick in Flamingo Fling. And then I'm gonna put that over. And that's really pretty. That's pretty. You can also do another lip gloss that looks pretty with this look as well. Is gonna be one that I have from Juvia's Place. I really love Juvia's Place. That's one of like my favorite brands. So Glazed from Juvia's Place. It's got this really beautiful, their lip glosses are amazing. It's got this really beautiful, so if you can't afford Fenty, Juvia's Place has really good dupes that are like close enough for me. And that's got a really pretty sparkle reflection. And if you want to make it even more. Okay, so this is the final. Oh, my friend. Okay, so this is the final look. And I just put on a little bit of the Ulta Matte Beal setting spray from the Ulta collection. I feel like this works plenty fine for me. I don't like the Urban Decay setting sprays and all those fancier ones. I feel like this one just works better for me. It's got aloe in it, so maybe that's why. I feel like it's more like calming on the skin. But yeah, this is the final look. This is kind of like what it looks like in like man lighting. So yeah, thank you for watching.